Hello, and welcome to my home here in St. Paul. And I thought I would do something different today. As many of you know, usually I write, and I love writing. But there is a whole nother part of me, and that is music, and that is also that I'm a pastor. And so, since this week is a week that's one of the best and most celebrated weeks in the Christian church, I thought I would do something a bit different today that includes the other sides of me. Now, if you are not a Christian, if you're someone who you don't think Jesus or Easter is relevant to you, I want to ask you to just keep holding on because I am not the sort of pastor or the sort of person, although I used to be, that is all about religion. And by religion, I mean emphasizing the rules, emphasizing all the logistics, emphasizing that everything is just so black and white. I used to be that way, and I've been through some things in my life, probably in the last decade, that have really changed that side of me. And even though those things were very difficult to go through, I'm so thankful that I did, because now I understand that being a Christian, that being a pastor, that being someone who follows Jesus is not at all about the rules, but it's about coming home to who God is, coming home to his peace, his safety, coming home to who I am created to be, healthy, whole, powerful, as someone who God says is a child of him. And so this Holy Week, I wanted to share a quote that really stuck with me and a song. And, one of the things I've been questioning lately is if, even though I am a pastor, I served overseas many years as a pastor. I've been really questioning if that is something I just fell into based on how I grew up in a pastor's home and how I married a pastor. And then we went into missions, serving overseas, where for many of those years, until the very end, I wasn't allowed to have any other job but the ministry. And so that has caused me often to question if I've fallen into this, and because now I'm 47 years old, if that's the only thing that I am actually qualified to do after so many decades. When I think of entering a new career, I think of all the young people I'd be going up against and the low pay I would be getting as an entry-level worker. And I often see myself as unqualified to do a new career. So then I often think maybe I'm just continuing in ministry. Well, first off, because I love God, but as a vocation, because it's what I've fallen into. And so I've been really working through, I've been meeting with someone who is a pastor, a spiritual director, who is someone who's trained to listen with you to God and to listen to your story and to pray with you about if I have a calling to be a pastor. That even if I someday wrote a best-selling book, and I would never have to work a day in my life again due to my writing career, would I still choose to be a pastor and help lead people to God? And that is the question I am asking myself right now. And I think I have a hunch. I know what that answer is, but I'm still in that process of having that power to choose rather than to have to fall into it. And so this Holy Week, I don't want it to be about me being a pastor or me being someone who literally grew up in the church in a pastor's home, but I want it to be about coming home to God. And I have this app I use called Lectio 365, and often when I'm on the treadmill at 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm listening to that just to start my day off. And it is a prayer app, a guide that challenges you. And yesterday I was on my treadmill and I heard this quote that really I felt set me right for the Holy Week that we're celebrating, that comes to Good Friday, this Friday where we remember how Jesus was crucified on the cross, and then coming to Sunday where we celebrate that Jesus conquered death. And so I heard this quote and I thought it might be helpful to some of you too. The goal of my faith is not Christianity, but Christ. Not religion, but relationship. Not spiritual formation, but love. I'm going to read that again. The goal of my faith is not Christianity, but Christ. Not religion, but relationship with God. Not spiritual formation, but love. The end of following Jesus, of following God, of ultimately being a Christian, it must end in love. Thinking now about some of the spiritual disciplines I try to maintain, like fasting, Sabbath keeping, which means keeping one day a week as rest for God, church attendance, Bible study, tithing, that means giving a percentage of your income every month to the church as an offering, silence and solitude, and even personal prayer. I ask myself if any of these practices are becoming ends in themselves, hindrances to my holiness, inconsequential and even hurtful to my relationship with Christ. My story is, I think about 10 years ago, I came to a point where I kind of felt like I had done everything right as a Christian. I'm one of those good Christian girls. I was in the nursery at church from the time I couldn't even remember it, grew up in Sunday school, learning all the Bible stories, going to kids' church, actually really loving God even as a kid. And I can remember really worshiping God as I sang as a kid. I remember being in the shower in our nasty basement in our Victorian home because my dad was always trying to fix our better bathroom, but it was never functional in the shower in this nasty basement. And I just remember what I would do because of the acoustics of the basement. I would just sing out to God as a girl. No one was making me. And the song I sang was, I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you. And so I've done this my entire life. I went through high school, I didn't party, I didn't drink, I never slept around. I married my high school sweetheart. I studied for ministry. I went into ministry. I did the ultimate in the Christian world, which is I actually moved overseas to the former Soviet Union, to a place that didn't have running water 24 hours a day, that was crumbled after the fall of the Soviet Union. And in 2003, the largest grocery store was like a convenience store. And when I was in Armenia, my mom tells me, although I've blocked out my mind, that within the first few weeks, we didn't have internet in our apartment. So I walked to an internet cafe that was full of people smoking. And she said, I just wrote her one email. And it just said, help. I did what was the toughest thing for me to do as a 24-year-old, lasting 22 years of living overseas and working and sacrificing. I did all those things, and I thought that I had done everything to prove to God that I was a good Christian. Like this said, fasting, Sabbath keeping, attending church, Bible study, tithing, giving of my money, silence, solitude, and prayer. I thought all those things, that I'd been a good person, following God, loving God all of the days of my life. And then I came to a point when I was in Estonia planning a church where I thought, as I listened to the Easter message about Jesus having to die and be crucified because there was something separating me from God, all the evil of the world, all the things I had done that had separated me from God. And when Jesus died on the cross, God himself died on the cross. It took that barrier between me and God and it laid it on Jesus. And now my access to God was free. And when I would hear about that, I would think, but what do I really have between me and God? Like, I've never done anything really bad. Like, is me telling a white lie or gossiping when I was a teenager, is that enough that would make Jesus come all the way to the earth and die for me? And I remember thinking that. And then it's almost like, now that I look back, I feel like God said, really? So you think you're that good, that you don't even need me? And I felt as if I look at my life now, it's as if God had held me my entire life, from those nursery days to singing to him in the shower, to trying my very best to serve him. Like God had held me my entire life. And then it felt like he just took his hands off of me for a while, not to punish me, but to let me see who I am when I'm not with him. And what I saw really surprised me, and it still surprises me today. I am in need of coming home to God. I am in need of Jesus. I am in need of his companionship through the hardest times of life. I am in need of his grace, which means even though I've tried to earn it my entire life, even if I could earn nothing, even if I made a mistake yesterday, today, the worst of things, his grace would still be there saying, just come to me, turn towards me, and you're welcome home. And so to start to help you, I guess, with this Holy Week, I would like to just sing one song. And I'm going to play it pretty simply because I have kind of a cool story. I have this baby grand piano here that my grandparents bought me and my sister when we were 9 years old. I was 9, she was 7. And I'm the only one who kept playing piano. And when I went overseas, I wasn't willing to sell it. And so it was in storage with another family for 22 years. And when I moved back to the US a few years ago, I paid a piano mover and it finally came home. A living example that even though my grandparents are dead, it is an example of their love for me, of their generosity towards me, and towards the many hours I sat here as a little girl growing up playing and loving music, something that God created me to do. And so as I sing this, "Come, Jesus, come," may you come home. Just like this piano reminds me of coming home to my grandparents' love and generosity. May you come home to who you were always made to be, which is loved no matter what you've done, which is accepted, which is to be so strong and powerful because you're healthy and whole and you're living out your purpose and who you're meant to be. So join me this Easter as we sing, or as I sing, "Come, Jesus, come." Sometimes I fall to my knees and pray, "Come, Jesus, come. Let today be the day." Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna break, but I'm holding on to a hope that won't fade. Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt and right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. 'Cause deep down I know this world isn't home. So come, Jesus, come. There'll be no war, there'll be no change when Jesus comes. Let today be the day. He'll come for the weak and the strong just the same. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt, right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. 'Cause deep down I know this world isn't wrong. So come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. One day he'll come and we'll stand face to face. Come and lay it all down, 'cause it might be today. The time is right now. There's no need to wait. Your past will be lost by rivers of grace. Come, Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt, right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. 'Cause deep down I know this world isn't home. So come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus, come. Come, Jesus.